Welcome to the Ecliptic Spiritualist channel. I want to talk to you about a couple of questions that I get in emails, regular conversations with practitioners of all styles. And the area that I want to cover, and it's a biggie, is called Do You Need Deities? Do you need deities? Now, first and foremost, the one question is it necessary for you to work with a deity? And so across the board in a lot of the communities because the communities in the modern spirituality practice have grown in different arenas, even though it seems like it's large, but it's not as large. But the answer to that is no. The answer is no, you don't necessarily have to work with deities. You can be a circular practitioner, witchcraft, witch practitioner, whatever you may call yourself, and you don't necessarily have to work with a practitioner as a practitioner work with a deity. Now some people will tell you that you need a god or goddess to work with, period, dot. These people tend to be under an impression that the craft or modern spirituality is a religious practice, and that without a deity, a god, a goddess to base your practice around, you're not really a practitioner and you're not practicing magic. Let's do away with that right now. That's a no. Okay, you do not have to work with a god or goddess to be an effective practitioner. There's a reason I hardly really ever talk about it, about whether you not to have one, because I do personally work with different variations of deities in my own practice, but I say that because it's not necessary. You can be a circular witchcraft practitioner. You can be a circular style, which means that you do not base your practice around deities or draw significantly any energy from a higher being such as that in order to work your magic or do your practice. And that clears up things for people that think it's necessary. Many people work with no deities, god or goddesses. They practice does phenomenally well. Okay, now does this mean that some people may or may not totally work with deities? Not actually. Some people do work with deities in the practice. Maybe they work with them periodically, maybe semi-regular. Some people may pull in some goddess or goddesses to work with them, and on a regular basis they may or may not, but that's okay, depending on also some people have a religious practice that they have along with their witchcraft, so it can overlap one another too, where they sometimes don't use it totally, sometimes they do. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. So in the commercial facet of this, you can or you cannot. There is no wrong or right way to practice. But you can be both circular with a practice or witchcraft or whatnot, and you can also be a person that's a religious format. The two are not mutually exclusive. So it can be either or. So the one question is want to pose to you and give you the answer to is, your magic does not come from outside you. Repeat, your magic, your manifestation, your practice does not come from outside of you. One vital important part of getting into goddess or god worship or deity worship is your craft, your practice is to be understood that it comes from within. When you work with other gods or goddesses, they are to assist you in what you're doing, because in the unseen. The truth is, your magic doesn't come from anywhere. It doesn't come from some higher power outside of you either. It doesn't come from the earth only. It doesn't come from some crazy bloodline, hereditary type magical power. But magic is an innate human energy. It's not something that we are taking from outside of ourselves and harnessing it in us. But every single person on this planet was born with the capacity to access and harness their own innate magical energy. The question is whether or not are you willing enough or diligent or consistent enough to honor the magical energy that is within you, along with if you decide to work with the god or goddesses or not. The question always comes from is the harnessing the honey comes from within, and everything on the outside that you summons to help you assist you within this realm. Okay, the spiritual power is not something that we have been blessed with or from a higher. It is something that can be taken away from us if your spiritual power can be taken away from you in your inner self if you're not doing anything. If you don't do anything with it, guess what? It withers away, and then you got to build up that energy back. If you're looking for a god or goddesses or a deity because you feel like you need some higher being to grant you the power to be a practitioner, stop right there. You already have the power you could possibly need, all right? If you're struggling to make a practice work right now in your life, is not a lack of power or lack of deities that's causing you to struggle. It's simply a lack of knowledge. As practitioners, our own powers can only be harnessed to the degree that we know how to utilize it. That comes to going to class, joining master classes, getting fundamentals to discipline you in the area to harness that energy and to build it up. Lots of times people don't build up because they don't do a consistent work or take time to do practice. If you are seeking to become more powerful in your magical energy, don't look to a lot of external sources to grant you this power or crack. What you want to do is make sure to study hard. Study, read books, and learn how to become more of a powerful practitioner. Join the master classes that we offer. Join Patreon that we offer. That gives you some tidbits in the Patreon to get you on a consistent practice. But the master classes help you launch you into your studies and push you within a community, a coven that we offer. Now, I would rather see a practitioner studying and learning how to become effective in their own right before they start getting into deity relationships, because you have to have a strong relationship with working within yourself, reading, digesting information into your spirit so that your spirit can regurgitate that information and see what way or style that you will have. All right. Now, also you can think of a deity relationship like any other relationship. If you can get your needs met on your own outside of that relationship, then it becomes a breeding ground for an out of balance, potentially manipulative dynamic. And what I'm saying is that if you don't have a working relationship within yourself, okay, and teaching and learning for yourself and also communing with other practitioners in a community, a true fundamental community that is getting information in, or you studying on your own, then you'll understand matters more efficiently. But if you're jumping to grab from this God is here and that God there and this here and this ancestor here and this and this and this and this, well, what happens is you go into a smorgasbord of a banquet and eating from all these different plates and haven't fed yourself the proper nourishment to balance your own energy state of magical practitioner, right? So, should you work with both God and goddesses? That's another common misconception, and the idea that if you work with a god or goddesses, that the correspondences will be vice versa. If gender is something that matters significantly to you, if you want to work for deity with God or goddesses, that's fine. But you allow a structure of your spiritual relationship in any way that makes you comfortable on the God and goddesses, deities that you work with. If that means working with only goddesses or working with only gods, that's fine. Whatever fits you. There are even gods that are very much in between or entirely off the gender spectrum. And some people want gender spectrum goddesses or goddesses that meets their needs. Working with a goddess without the presence of a god is not going to spoil your magical practice, your ritual work, your altar work, because you don't have to have a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy to work with God or goddesses or work your magical energy. Okay? In fact, unless you work with the concept of masculine and feminine energy to begin with, there's no reason for you to take into this as consideration into your magical practice. These are reasons for you to take into consideration in your own magic of working with deities. These are energies that you can work with, but that you absolutely do not have to work with. Work with deities that appeal to you, and don't worry too much about having to match a matching set. Okay? So in saying that, this is an important message or information for you to read, listen to, closed caption it maybe, write it down to knowing that the do's or you don't have to have a deity, or you can have a deities if you like. Do you have to have a god, goddesses, masculine? It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. But first and foremost, you have to have a complete magical energy, purposely working method with yourself first. Okay? So if you have any questions, comment down below. Let me know if you feel that you need to have a goddess or goddess to work with, and why is that? Comment down below in that. So I love you for watching today. Don't forget to grow and go in everything you do, and put yourself first. We offer therapeutic readings that will change your life, along with metaphysical supplies, Reiki, masterclass in the magical non-religious arts, and so many areas that are fundamentally effective, that will help you get the groundwork in and to grow from there as well. Okay, and we offer spell work as well, so much more. I love you for watching. Continue to grow and go with us, and we will always welcome you into our Patreon North Node family, and so much more. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, our website, join there, Patreon, or join the membership on YouTube as well. I love you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.